Come, let us meditate like a Jedi. Our 16th lesson of this series. Is drawn from the meditation manual, Easy Enlightenment, which is available for free download. Oh, okay, let's try this again. Okay. Whoops. Here we go. This morning we're going to explore PTSD and brisk walking meditation. Post-traumatic stress disorder is not uncommon amongst veterans of foreign wars, no less survivors of domestic violence. In his book, Walking Your Blues Away, Dr. Tom Hartman, PhD, explains how the chief culprit in PTSD, as well as CPTSD, is the hippocampus. Much like the doorman standing behind the velvet rope, clutching a clipboard, at the entrance to the hippest dance club on a Saturday night, who only deigns entrance to those who are famous, beautiful on his guest list, or who slip him a C-note. Our friend the hippocampus prevents certain perceptions from entering our memory's storage area, thus forcing, let's throw a comma in there, thus forcing our mind to experience a past event as a present event, which is a definition of trauma. Just as the sight of certain celebrities or a C-note could mollify even the most persnickety of doormen, there are physical strategies that could soothe our hippocampus. Enter the magic of brisk walking meditation. Where to walk? Whether you are experiencing turmoil or disassociation, crossing the street is probably not a great idea. It could therefore be best to simply walk around your block over and over again until you feel a trifle better. How to walk? Briskly swing your arms and legs asymmetrically with your legs. Let's try this again. How to walk? Briskly swing your arms asymmetrically with your legs, in the manner wherein you swing your left arm in sync with your right leg and your right arm in sync with your left. The greater the bend you maintain in your knees, the more your joints could thank you. This asymmetry has a kneading effect upon our anxious amygdala and mnemonic hippocampus, the way a massage therapist might work a kink out of our shoulder. We could turbocharge this process by incorporating the following practice of mindfulness and meditation. Cooperating with our autonomic nervous system by silently and mentally reciting the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation, as well as silently and mentally reciting the one-syllable verb ease during each exhalation. No. The goal of this practice is not to destroy painful memories, but for our brain to recategorize traumas from the ticking time bombs of intense present moment experiences to the diffused counterparts, dull and prone to fading. Excuse me. It would appear that this morning I'm the mayor of mucus. Thus, walking in the Buddha's footsteps, we too could have experienced the healing effect of mindfulness and meditation. Having completed our opening lesson, we could now shift gears. It is Luke Skywalker Friday morning. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi. After about 30 seconds of housekeeping, this is the Dzogchen Semdai Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I have harnessed my autistic special interests as well as my ADHD hyperfocus to spend about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that I could become your personal, nerdy, neurodivergent guide to nirvana. Welcome, my friends, to meditate like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. For the remainder of this morning's live stream, let's meditate. Sturgeon's Law reminds us that 90% of everything sucks. Therefore, it should not surprise us that the majority of meditation books and meditation teachers implore their students to focus and analyze. Oh, sure, they might call it concentration and contemplation, or they might call it samatha and vipassana. Either way, by overworking the medial and dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, we set ourselves up to present with symptoms of depression and to trigger our amygdala, the seat, that which induces us to lead lives defined by cowardice, cruelty, and competition. Fortunately, neither the amygdala nor the prefrontal cortex constitute the entirety of our central nervous system. Consider, if you will, our spinal cord. It has many names, some contemporary. In present day, it is known as our autonomic nervous system, and in days of yore, it was nicknamed the seat of our Buddha nature. Well, how does that work? Every time we inhale, whether we know it or not, we have evolved to automatically access the middle part of our spinal cord, which is now known as our sympathetic nervous system. It has evolved to help us to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics of perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination. What are we then to do with that which we noticed? Simple. Every time we exhale, we have evolved to automatically access the end bits of our spinal cord, which are kind of like bookends found on a shelf, and they're currently known as our parasympathetic nervous system. This has evolved to help us to physically relax and mentally release to such a degree that which we noticed during our previous inhalation could fleetingly feel less stressful, less permanent, and even less defining. Complex life forms on this planet evolved to think symbolically. Therefore, it should not surprise us that in every human culture, figurative language is used. Let's see how that applies to meditation. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever we noticed during our previous inhalation could fleetingly feel as non-graspable as a vast, empty void. It was explained to me many years ago that a simile is only as effective as it is relatable. Therefore, it is appropriate to ask the question, what? What is a real-world example of a non-graspable vast empty void? How about the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which although could look tantalizing to the eye, feels non-graspable to the hand? Let's simplify this. What if mindfulness was simply noticing mind's antics? The most efficient way to passively cooperate with our sympathetic nervous system is to silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this each time we feel our diaphragm pull down as we inhale. Similarly, meditation is simply relaxing into the non-graspable aspect of our mind. The most efficient way to passively cooperate with our parasympathetic nervous system is to silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease each time we feel our diaphragm relax back up as passively we exhale. Excuse me. An efficient way for us to begin keeping track of our first collection of 144 inhalations, which could take about 20 minutes, is for us to rest the first knuckle or the lower knuckle of our right index finger upon the tip of our left index finger, palms up in our lap. We could count 12 inhalations by touching the tip of our right thumb to each set of creases found on each of our right hand's 4 fingers. How are we going to keep track of 12 sets, 12 inhalations each? By using our left hand not to count repetitions, but to count sets of 12 repetitions each. Our first set, our second set, our third set, and so forth, and so on. For a total of 12 sets of 12 repetitions each, for a total of 144. If you are prone to arthritis, you may wish to adjust your legs every 15 minutes or so. To begin to keep track of our second collection of 144 inhalations, or at least to begin doing so, we could rest the second knuckle of our left index finger upon the tip of our the second knuckle of our right index finger upon the tip of our left index finger, palms up in our lap. As we feel our diaphragm pull down during our inhalation, silently and mentally we could recite the demonstrative pronoun this as we passively notice mind's antics of perceiving, emoting, intending, reasoning, recalling, and imagining. As we feel our diaphragm relax back up during our exhalation, we could silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease as we relax into the non-graspable aspect of mind. A 144 is merely 12 sets of 12 inhalations. We could keep track of 12 inhalations by touching the tip of our right thumb to each set of creases found on each of the 4 fingers of our right hand. Remember, this is not a race, it's a stroll. If we count the creases of our right hand to keep track of 12 repetitions, then we can use the creases of our left hand to keep track of 12 sets of 12 repetitions each, for a total of 144. Or until the timer goes off. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 11 1/4 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's evening meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.